Imagine One Punch Man and Overlord had a baby. Stop. Not that far, guys. What is born from it is peak. The peak of isekai, Eminence in Shadow. We got everything here: OP main character, background main character, step on me elves, best dog girl, big boob stalker, overprotective sister, tsundere Ojo-sama, Ojo-sama, and the pink hair yandere. Oh, and we got Rose. This is a masterpiece! Alright, it might not be a masterpiece, but it's pretty damn good. See, even the most elite fans agree with me, it's just that fake anime fans can only rate anime as trash, mid, or masterpiece. Where are the OG My Enemy List bros at? Unfortunately, nowadays all isekai are bad unless you have 13 years old fuck. Jokes aside, Eminence in Shadow is definitely a show that will get polarizing reviews. With all the hype going around this show, I bet many people expect this show to have intricate plots and character development. But instead, they get the cringiest edgelord cosplaying the coolest anime character you have ever seen in your life. One series that is always being brought into the mix when talking about Eminence in Shadow is Overlord. Both have extremely OP main characters to the point that you know they will always win. You just don't know how. But that's true for like 90% of isekai protagonists, so it's not really a good reason. The part from Overlord that Eminence in Shadow is able to replicate that no other series can is the comedy that originates from characters' misunderstandings. You know when Ainz just improvised some BS plan and somehow works perfectly well, like he planned that ahead of time? We know that's not his intention, but his allies end up thinking he's some sort of supreme leader whose knowledge transcends time. The same happens in Eminence in Shadow. Most of the times he doesn't even know what's going on, but somehow whatever he says makes his allies think he's some sort of genius. Aside from Mind's interactions with Nazarick, and the fact that they are both OP main characters, there are not really much more similarities. So if you like the aspect of improvising and somehow coming out on top, you will be glad to know that Eminence in Shadow takes that trope and elevates it to 1000. How can they do that? Well, our main character is a Chuunibyou. Shuni what? You know there is that phase in our childhood where we want to become a superhero? I know some of you guys will say, oh, but I wanted to become the villain. No bro, you're just being edgy. Anyways, I remember back in the day screaming my lungs out thinking I would become a Super Saiyan. But then I grew up and realized I can't become a Super Saiyan. Now there are people who grow up and still think they are Goku. And those are the people that are called Chuunibyou. If you are interested in this topic, there is an anime called Chuunibyou Dimukoi Gashitai. The anime is not that good, so you better off subscribing. Did you know that 99%? Now, Sid is not your average Chuunibyou, he's a lot more cringe. He doesn't only fantasize about becoming the Eminence in Shadow, he actually puts effort into this roleplay. And my god, did he put more effort into this play than Studio Dean put while animating Nanatsu no Taizai. Sid becomes insanely strong, but he ends up reaching a wall that he can't overcome. The human body. No matter how much you train, you could never survive a gunshot to the head or a nuke. But fear not. This is anime, we always got a solution. We just need to call the Isekai Department! Magic! 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 I'll try my best, but explaining this series is like hearing Gigak explain the Fate series for the 10th time just for someone to leave a comment asking which Fate they should watch first. After the Truck-kun incident, our main character arrives at a world overflowing with magic. Now he can finally become him! To achieve his goal, he trains every day and in no time becomes the strongest being in his world. You'd think that he would be using that power for helping people like your average main characters? Nah. The Eminence in Shadow can't reveal his identity, so he roleplays a background character. This background persona is so important to him that no matter what happens, he will never break character. However, when night arrives, Sid completely changes. He becomes another person, the main character that we all waited for, the stylish bandit slayer. After defeating some bandits, he found some monsters and thought, well, it's a good idea to experiment on them. Little did he know that they were actually humans, put under a curse that's supposed to be untreatable, but somehow this guy randomly heals them. He heals 7 girls and becomes their papa. Papa Seed. Nah, I'm just fucking with you guys. He just gave them names and knowledge about his world. The thing is, he was so invested in his roleplay that he thought they were part of it, and makes a BS story about his world, how they need to make an organization to fight the evil cult of Diabolus. Guess what? His acting was so good that the 7 girls took everything he said at face value and made an organization called Shadow Garden with hundreds of members to fight this fictional cult. And not only that, they used the knowledge he gave them to become one of the biggest economic forces on that world. That's not even the more shocking part. That cult that he made up is actually a true cult. This happens a lot throughout the series, so don't be surprised if Sid says something stupid in one episode and it happens in the next one. I know many of you will be happy to know that Shadow Garden has 0 men aside from Shadow, but don't expect many ecchi scenes, since our main character is the absolute Sigma male. He doesn't even care if they are naked, he just cares about his roleplay act. After all this, I know you guys must have some questions like, if Sid is Saitama's and Ain's child, how does he have hair? Now I think it's pretty easy to understand why One Punch Man is being compared with Eminence in Shadow. It's obvious because they can both defeat Goku. Aside from that, both shows focus on comedy over plot. One Punch Man is known for parodying shonen tropes, and while Eminence in Shadow also does that, it's more focused on misunderstandings. Saitama and Sid are insanely strong characters that no one knows about, although for different reasons. Saitama doesn't get recognition because he punches everyone and they just lose, so people find it hard to believe in his power, while Sid purposely hides his power by role-playing a background character. Sid is so invested in his character that no matter the situation, he'll never break character. Even when an evil cult invaded his school and killed some students, he didn't do anything. Nah, wait, he actually did something. That's right, he died. Yeah, he wanted to play that cliché where the side character dies protecting the main character. But fear not, of course he didn't die. Well, kinda, he healed his heart. No guys, don't ask questions. If you ask, it stops being funny. This is something that you'll have to get by if you want to enjoy the series. Sid doesn't care about anyone's business, he only cares about his own power fantasy, and he'll live and die by that. Eminence in Shadow is not an anime where the plot is supposed to be taken seriously. It's that type of anime like Dragon Ball that you can watch after a long day of work, turn off your brain and enjoy the ride. Now, does that make the anime trash? Well, not really. Will I remember this anime in the next 10 years? Well, probably not, but as of right now, it's one of my favorite things to watch weekly and always get a laugh out of me. Honestly, give it a try. The best time to try an anime is when they are hot. You can discuss it with many people and maybe even make new friends, who knows? Recently it got a 2nd season, you have a mobile game to play, manga to read, light novel, choose your poison. Now, if you actually want to know what is a trash anime, you can watch my latest video on the worst romance of 2023. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time...
The Eminence in Shadow!